Alright, hey Shalom. All praises to Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shah, by Hashem Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, and salutations to you brothers that's pushing the word in sincerity and truth. Alright, so it's gonna be a quick video. Just going in on the characteristics of King David, his army. Alright, because the Lord, pursuant to the prophecy in Amos, which I'm gonna get that, the Lord's gonna raise up the tabernacle of David and close up the breaches thereof, all right, and raise up his ruins as the days before. So, in order to know about how the Lord's going to raise up King David's army again, you got to know how King David's army conducted back in the ancient times, all right, and the sentiment of the men and how they were, all right. Let me see, I said sentiment. Sentiment. It says the word sentiment means a view of or attitude towards a situation or an event, an opinion. All right. So, like I said, in order to know how King David's army, all right, in the future, when the Lord raises up the ruins again, the sentiment of the men are going to be. In that time, we got to know how the sentiment of the men were way back then, when King David just came into power and the Lord was dealing with a small number. All right. So let me start off with Amos, or Was, and let's read the prophecy. This is Amos 9:11. It says, in that day will I raise up the tabernacle of David that is fallen and close up the breaches thereof. And I will raise up his ruins and I will build it as in the days of old. So the Lord said he's going to build it as in the days of old. All right. That they may possess the remnant of Edom and of all the heathen which are called by my name, saith the Lord that doeth this. All right. So the remnant of Edom, all right, and the heathen, the tabernacle of David is going to possess their lands and possess the residue of the heathen and these other nations in Esau, man. All right, let's go to the book of 1 Samuel. Let's go to the book of 1 Samuel 22. I'm going to start at 1. The book of 1 Samuel 22:1. It says, and David therefore departed thence and escaped to the cave of Adullam. And when his brethren and all his father's house heard it, they went down thither to him. And every one that was in distress, and every one that was in debt, and every one that was discontented, gathered themselves unto him, and he became a captain over them. And there were with him about 400 men. So in the beginning stages of King David's reign, after he fled from Saul, all right, because his life was in danger, all right, the men that latched on to King David, all right, like going back to the word sentiment, all right, they were men that were distressed, all right, everyone that was in debt, men that were in debt, all right, and men that was discontented, all right, meaning they weren't content, all right, they was discontented. All right. Those were the type of men that latched on to King David, man. Similar to now. All right, you got men that are in debt. You got men that are not content with this lifestyle. All right, that are burdened with the this wicked society. All right, and they're distressed. They're in distress because they're dealing with things, man. Those are the type of men that hearken unto King David. All right. And the Lord said he's going to raise up the tabernacle of David, close up the breaches thereof. All right. Now let me go to the book of Ezekiel real quick. It's Ezekiel 37. Ezekiel 37 and I'm going to start at 9. He says, then said he unto me, prophesy unto the wind, prophesy, son of man, and say to the wind, thus saith the Lord Yahweh, come from the four winds, O breath, and breathe upon these slain that they may live. So I prophesied as he commanded me, and the breath came into them, and they lived. Now the breath represents wisdom. You can find that out in Wisdom of Solomon. I think it's the 16th. Let me see if I can find it real quick. Just to back up that point that the breath represents wisdom. All right. So this is let's see. Yeah, this is Wisdom of Solomon 7 and 24. It says, for wisdom is more moving than any motion. She passeth and goeth through all things by reason of her pureness. For she is the breath of the power of Yahweh. All right, so this breath, this wisdom was breathed upon the slain, all right, on these bones, all right. It says, Ezekiel 37 and 9, it says, then said he unto me, prophesy unto the wind, prophesy, son of man, and say to the wind, thus saith the Lord Yahweh, come from the four winds, O breath, and breathe upon these slain, that they may live. Because the men that are going to be raised up with King David, they were once slain, all right? Because they didn't have the knowledge of Yahweh Bashim Yahushua. So the breath, which is the wisdom, was breathed upon them, all right? And it says, so I prophesied as he commanded me, and the breath came into them, and they lived, and it says, and they lived and stood up upon their feet, an exceeding great army. All right, and that's believed to be I believe that to be the like we're reading in Ezekiel. All right, because the men that are raised up, they're going to be of the tabernacle of David, and they're going to have the wisdom, which is the breath of Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, and it's going to make them exceedingly dreadful among the nations. Remember, the Lord said, I will raise up the tabernacle of David, and they shall possess the remnant of Edom and the heathen. All right. And then it says, and stood up upon their feet an exceeding great army. Then he said unto me, son of man, these bones are the whole house of Israel. Behold, they say, our bones are dry, and our hope is lost. We are cut off for our parts. Therefore prophesy and say unto them, thus saith the Lord Yahweh, behold, O my people, I will open your graves and cause you to come up out of your graves and bring you into the land of Israel. Right? All right? And the scriptures say that the saints of the Most High shall take the kingdom forever and ever. All right, let me get that real quick. This is the book of Daniel, the 7th chapter, around. Give me a second. Yeah, this is Daniel 7 and 18. It says, but the saints of the Most High shall take the kingdom and possess the kingdom forever and ever and ever. Let me read it. It says forever, even forever and ever. And it's going to start with the tabernacle of David being brought back. In the tabernacle of David are the saints of the Heavenly Father, which are going to take the kingdom and possess the kingdom forever and ever. Let me go here to Psalms 148. This is Psalm 148. And Psalm 148 and 13, it says, let them praise the name of the Lord, for his name alone is excellent. His glory is above the earth and heaven. All right? In the tabernacle with David, while we're ministering justice through Yahushua, all right, through Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, all right, we're gonna fulfill this word right here. It says, verse 14, it says, he also exalted the horn of his people, the praise of all his saints, even the children of Israel, a people near unto him. All right, praise ye the Lord. And that proves that the saints of the Israelites, all right. that proves that the saints of the Israelites of the tabernacle of David, all right, are the Israelites. All right, let me go to the next scripture. See something quick. I had some of this written in my notes. I want to hit some of these scriptures. See, there's one more scripture that I want to hit. Give me a second, bear with me. This is another scripture that I had. This is 2 Samuel 2:8. Yeah, this is 2 Samuel 8 and let me see. I'm gonna start read 1, but I'm just gonna end up jumping down to verse 14. But this is 2 Samuel 8 and 1. It says, "And after this it came to pass that David smote the Philistines and subdued them. And David took out of the hand of the Philistines, and he smote Moab and measured them with a line, casting them down to the ground, even with 2 lines measuring, he to put to death, and with 1 line to keep alive. And so the Moabites became David's servants and brought gifts." All right, so the King David, you know, and his men, they put the Moabites in subjection, and they had dominion over them. All right, where they could line them up. They lined 2 rows of Moabites up, and one you could slay them, and the next you keep for servants. All right, and that's the type of power that we're gonna have, man. The power to line up Edomites. All right, and which ones we want to destroy, we keep them to destroy. Which ones we want them to service, we keep to service. All right, and it's all gonna be given of the power of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua. All right, to the power of the saints. All right, it said David smote also Hadazer, the son of Rehob, king of Zobah, as he went to recover his border at the river Euphrates. So King David, in essence, was a conqueror, and his men that were up under him, they were conquerors, all right? Because they had to establish the borders of Israel, even to the Euphrates, which the modern day Jews over there in the land of Israel, they can't establish their borders to the Euphrates, all right? And it says, "And David took from him 1,000 chariots and 700 horsemen, 20,000 footmen, and David hewed all the chariot horses were reserved of them for 100 chariots. And when the Syrians of Damascus came to secure Hadazer, king of Zobah, David slew of the Syrian 220,000 men. Then David put garrisons in Syria of Damascus, and the Syrians became the servants to David and brought gifts, and the Lord preserved David whithersoever he went." So the Lord preserved David, King David, wherever so he went, because the Lord was with him. And pursuant to the prophecy in the book of Amos, when the Lord raised up the tabernacle of David again, he's going to preserve the tabernacle of David again. All right, now we jump down to 14. It says, and he put garrisons in Edom throughout all Edom. Put he garrisons, and all they of Edom became David's servants. And the Lord preserved David wheresoever he went. So the Lord was with King David, all right, to put these heathen in subjection, even the Edomites, all right, the Moabites. He was with King David to conquer, all right. So with that, I'm just going to give all praises to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shah, Bahashim, Rakak Wadash. Double honors to the apostles of Great Millstone, and salutations to you brothers pushing the word of sincerity and truth. Shalom.